Apologies for the brief technical error there, guys. I hope you've stuck with us. Sorry about that. My computer decided to shut down midstream, which was rather frustrating. Anyway, Andy, so you were talking about Nathaniel Trevor and the R word.
Yeah, it just didn't. The way he used it, he was just referring to somebody who wasn't kind of like had that kind of disability as someone. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. I can't really articulate why. So maybe that kind of dispels that maybe I was wrong for getting not necessarily upset. I just didn't like it.
Well, I think
when I did the interview analysis of McFetridge, which have always been my most popular videos, would you believe? Before my old channel got deleted, I had like 200,000 views or something, which is, which is a lot for...
Yeah. That's a lot for anyone.
Yeah, and I always went out of my way to be respectful to his condition because I didn't want to offend anybody who had it, because I can't paint everybody with that brush and say, oh, look at him, the disabled fucker, just because, he happens to be a... And I remember a few people leaving messages saying, I really like it how he was very respectful, but when he did that, it didn't sit right with me. Now, whether that's just because he's a wanker, I don't know. That might be true.
I have to admit, I was never keen on his content. I know a lot of people in the community loved it, but I just found he laughed really hard at his own jokes, and I found that really off-putting. But I also think, yeah, there was sometimes, in the very little I did hear of his videos, they could be quite malicious towards the people. I suppose that's understandable to an extent, but I really think it's the context that, any word's okay from, even like the most offensive word for homosexual people, it is a word that can be funny if used right. I don't think there should be, personally, limitations on any words. But it all depends on how they're used and the context they're used in.
Yeah. No, you're right. I don't know. I just think that, I suppose it depends who's using it and for what reason. And like Dark said in the chat before, it's the context, isn't it? So someone can say it, and there's a mean-spiritedness behind it, which would make it not alright, but if you're just doing it for humour and you don't mean any offence, then the SJW should shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of them around at the minute.
But some people just want to find any reason they can to get upset about things. Some people just wake up and go, oh, who am I going to find to get upset about today? It's like what I briefly touched on with Chris yesterday when I started my IREX Scammers channel. I actually got quite bad anxiety when the channel became popular, because I started getting my first ever negative comments, and then I would lie a bit in bed awake. Like if I'd uploaded a new video, I'd be like, shit, I've got to stay awake in case anyone puts negative comments on. And then I was like, what have I become? What's this? And then eventually just learned to not worry about it. As long as the positive outweighs the negative, then it's fine.
So you touched upon something that's quite interesting there, because I had the same, when I first started making videos, I don't know why, I used to be obsessed with view count. It was really weird, and I had like a realisation moment, like, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, hi Bunky. But if you think about yourself in a position where you're not looking at view counts, you're looking at genuinely attractive women throwing themselves at you, it's going to create some psychological deficiencies, isn't it? Just like, we're going back to the Jake Paul stuff. Do you know what I mean? Look at Lorne when he had his channel. He thought that people were interested in what he had to say and started churning out the funniest stuff potentially we've ever seen on YouTube.
Yeah, although it was unintentionally funny, which was what made it so great. I don't think he thought it was being funny.
No, but just to think, it's funny that we did the stream on my channel yesterday, and we were talking about as the Lorne content dried up, and when we were talking about that, I completely fucking forgot about the fact that he had a YouTube channel. Look how much content is just on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's something we didn't even mention. Well, I guess that, I'd be happy when I was asked yesterday by the last tanker what I would like to see. I'd like to see some more of Lorne's cookery videos. And
it's the fact that that motherfucker had the audacity to do that. It's just something that'll. It's just crazy.
well,
And then started complaining because people wouldn't leave the past alone. It's just wrong on every conceivable level.
the difficulty is when you create content, you expose yourself to people. And I don't mean the way that Lorne might outside of school. I mean, like, you leave yourself open for criticism. You know, but when I mean, things, some criticism can be great. Constructive criticism is wonderful. People can say, okay, you could. The trouble is as well, I guess it's about the context and the way they say it. Like if someone says you could have done this better, and they say it politely, or I would have done this. What I don't like, or something I used to have a big problem with, people say you should have done this, and it's like, well, it's my fucking video. I'll do what I want. But if they say I would have done this, then I'll be like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I'll take that on board for the next video. I guess that's just the difference between should have sounding more like a command and would have sounding like a suggestion.
Because you're right. Because basically it's arrogance, isn't it? That if someone says, "Oh, you should have done this," it's basically what they're doing is they're putting themselves in a position of superiority and saying, "I know best, better than you do, and I'm better than you. So this is what you should have done." And of course, that's going to get you back up in it.
Yes, exactly, and that's the trouble, because you know, as much as I like to try and take the higher ground, it's not always that easy. And then you come back and you go, well, if you should have done that, why don't you do it on your own channel? Because I don't see you being successful, you cunt. And then
well, I mean, you know, as me and you have both discovered, to have anybody on here that's got, you know, their own YouTube stuff going on, you're always going to get a huge amount of criticism. I never anticipated. I don't regret doing any of the things I've done, like the videos and meeting the people that I have. But I never would have anticipated the amount of fucking abuse that I've got. It's fucking remarkable. It's kind of dried up now because people have realised it doesn't fucking bother me that much. But when my channel got deleted, there was like almost a hate campaign against me. It was fucking unbelievable. People went to the trouble of setting up their own YouTube channel just to have a go at me. Like, what a bunch of
well, that was just one person, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still, though, there was a few people involved, and I thought the lengths that some people will go to. But the thing is that's interesting about the YouTube thing is that it gives people, if you don't look at it from the right angle, you can almost think that you're some kind of famous person, even though that you're not. Because there's people out there that have like 10,000 subs and 20,000 subs and that, and they think that their opinion matters.
Oh, well, I can tell you a story, and actually I don't mind naming and shaming this person because they're an absolute cunt. But there was someone a long time.
Go on, give me a name. I'm interested.
Well, you won't know who they are because it was someone who was in the scam baiting community. They're not like deep in the scam baiting community. I don't think they're part of the scam baiting Skype chat, and I've not seen them around for a long time. But you know, I think it was my first year of having a channel, and I had been speaking to this woman for a while that I'd met from YouTube, and well, we won't name names in regards to that, but you know who I'm talking about, I think, Andy.
Yes.
The very first person who, and anyway, she then told me that this guy had sent her these messages, and it was like, basically, it was like demanding nudes or demanding saucy photos, and he had about, I think, 30,000 subscribers. And when she refused, he basically turned around and said, "Not Robert Hocker, no Skeleton Siski. If you know, I don't know if you'll know him, Skeleton. You might. A guy called Hexium Gaming, absolute wanker." And he basically turned around. She sent me the screenshots. I'm not sure. I know they would be on my old computer, so I can't actually back this up and prove it. But I know this happened, and because she sent me all the screenshots, and he basically said, "I'll fucking ruin your life. I've got 30,000 subscribers. Who do you think you are to deny sending me nudes?" It's just like, the fuck do people think they are? 30,000 subscribers. Yeah, if you've heard of Hexium Skeleton, he's an absolute cunt. If you sub to him, unsub because he's a wanker. Sorry to be dramatic like that, but I know just what a disgusting human being he is at the heart of it. And what angered me about that is, in general, the people in the scam betting community are people with good hearts who are trying to stop people from losing money and waste scammers' time. And someone who's it's kind of like, I suppose, what we're talking about with luxury pranks. This guy he's making videos that show him to be a good guy. At the same time, he's messaging women on YouTube demanding nudes, and when they're refusing, claiming he's going to ruin their lives because he's got 30,000 subs. So what's he going to do? Like, someone who's literally just a subscriber on YouTube, doesn't even have a channel, what's he going to do? Make a video going, "She refused to give me nudes, what a bitch." I mean, that guy is literally an incel.
It's kind of, I was going to say it's hard to believe that someone's like that, but then again, it isn't, is it? Because you don't have to have anything, and this isn't to demean, how popular your channel is or how popular you think it is. You don't have to be incredibly talented to have a channel with 10, 20,000 subs. All you have to do, and we were discussing this last night.
No, I see what you're saying, because my channel should have many more subs.
Yeah, make the right amount of videos about the right topics. Put a bit of effort into it, and you can make a go of it on YouTube. It really isn't. I don't think it's that difficult, but it's very difficult to do if you want to remain integral, I believe.
Well, this is something I always promised myself. Like, I was never, once I got onto YouTube, I was never going to use it as a platform to try and meet people through. I was never going to do anything that, because right until. You can't really trust anyone until you know them very well. So it's not a good thing to go around asking people for nudes, especially if they then take screenshots and go, "Oh, this is what he's really like." For someone... Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, go on.
But for someone like me, where I've got a channel where hopefully I'm helping people, not this channel, but my scam betting channel, where hopefully I'm helping people, to then go and act like that to someone, it's completely out of character, and it shows that you're not the integral person you're portraying yourself to be.
This is why I had a problem with the Ramona thing, and without replaying old ground, that's ultimately why I think my channel got taken down. It doesn't, at the time it bothered me, but I couldn't give a fuck anymore. But
it is a shame, because we lost some of the videos I was on as well, and I wanted to go back and listen to them the other day.
I've still got some of them saved on my PC, but I'll not lie. At the time, it was a bit of a fucking pain in the ass, and there's some good stuff left there. But you can't. What pissed me off about all that is she portrayed herself as being some kind of fucking hero that was cleaning the streets of Maine because Lorne was no longer there. That wasn't the fucking reason she was doing it, and it really pissed me off. You should prattling on going, yeah, I'm fucking helping the people of Maine so that no, listen, sweetheart, that's not the fucking reason you're doing it. You're doing it because you've got fuck all else better to do. Just fucking admit it, and then we can all get on with things. You know what I mean?
No, I had an issue with that as well, because it's like, it's like a couple of people both said in the stream we did last night that she was doing it for the lols. And if you came out and said, "Yep, I'm making Lorne into my own personal lol cow, and I'm trying to milk him as hard as possible," I would have a lot more respect for that than try and come up with some bullshit excuse.
Exactly. I mean, I suppose from a point of view, it was very difficult for me to grasp why someone, even if he was unemployed or whatever, I don't know what her situation was, and there's no point in me speculating because we don't know, but it was very difficult for me to understand why someone would spend that amount of time on the phone to someone every day just for a laugh or appease the community or whatever. Now, I can't figure it out. I have to question myself just to make a 30-minute video once or twice a week. Even that, I'm like, fucking hell, can you not spend more time, doing more productive things? So to spend all that time talking to Lorne was just baffling to me. But I suppose I can understand why some people might have gone, "You hypocritical bastard," because initially we fucking loved it.
Why do they sound like Ringo Starr?
Huh?
You hypocritical bastard. Thomas the Tank Engine rolled into town.
I've got a mate who fucking looks the spit of Ringo Starr. You've never seen anything like it. In fact, he's unemployed at the minute. He should probably like do some kind of
A Ringo Starr lookalike.
Yeah. No, you know, famous band and all that.
Well, yeah, but it was always a bit like John, Paul, and the other two.
Do you know what, Bunky? I think I've still got that video, you know.
Oh, that was a great video.
In fact, I have still got that on my computer. I might.
Have you not re-uploaded that? We had such a good time with that comment.
Do you know why I've not re-uploaded that? Because that was one of the videos that got taken down.
Ah.
And these people that took my channel down, and I know it's not Lorne, I know it's people from the TCAP community. Do you know they're still at it, you know? Because I had I had a video that was deleted. It was the Kevin Westerbett video. And YouTube told me it was repeatedly flagged. And it's only flagged when people flag it. And the reason it got taken down is because I proper go to town on that bastard, because I'm sure most people will agree he's probably one of the worst predators.
No, he is. Westerbeck he makes my skin crawl.
It's very difficult to make a video about him and not basically call him out and call him horrible names and this, that and the other. And obviously YouTube doesn't like that. It got taken down. And the video that we did about Lorne, because I mentioned his name so many times, I think it violates YouTube's harassment and bullying policy. So if I re-upload that, in fact, let me have a look on my computer now, see if it's still there. You carry on entertaining the beloved audience, Adam.
Hey, clobbering time. But yeah, and hey, anyone I haven't said hello to, Bunky and everyone else. Lovely to see you guys here. But yeah, no, this is kind of the reason, like what Andy was just saying about he believes that his channel was taken down by people within the community, and it kind of touches on what we chatted on his channel about last night, that personally I think this community, as much as people want to say, oh, it's a lovely community that brings people together, which I'm not denying, but it also has a very, very toxic element to it, and people within it kind of have disagreements with each other, and then shit goes too far. And it's like I said last night, when the Lorne content dries up, when there's no new Lorne content, then people turn on each other because they want to create drama. When there's nothing to talk about anymore, it's like, well, let's just fucking go at each other. You know, even some of like the nicest, best people within the community, at times kind of felt like they were forced out of it. Even I believe even Shaman had troubles, and he's probably like one of the nicest guys I've ever spoken to, and just such a cool guy and so laid back. And yet, even people took, and whether that comes from elements of jealousy because he was creating like good-looking, well-edited videos, and he had a charisma about him, and whether that comes from jealousy and that sort of thing. But it's a very weird landscape, YouTube. In fact, Andy was just talking about getting flagged, and I made. I
have still got that video, by the way.
Excellent.
It's called Lorne Armstrong, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, I remember that.
However, do you know what the only reason I've got it? Do you remember that person that made that channel of mine and kept uploading all my videos? It was on there and I ripped it off there. The problem is it was uploaded. Basically, it's half of the video doubled up. So you've got 30 minutes doubled. So some of it's been cut out. So I need some kind of editing software, and I'll upload it. If it gets taken down, it gets taken down. So be it.
But yeah, to come back to the whole flagging thing as well, I made a video. It wasn't actually that long ago. It was when someone sent me, in fact, I wanted to go deeper into that, and then I completely forgot about it. It was a little brief live stream I actually did, but it was some really weird shit, because it was like these 11-year-old girls in bikinis, and there was some dude who had commented on it saying, oh, what beautiful girls or something, and then I clicked on his channel, and all the things that had been liked were like water polo, girls water polo team, and like under 14s girls water polo. I was like, what the fuck? This guy is literally a living, breathing pedo on YouTube and not making any secret about it. And I made a video about it going, this guy, you need to watch out if people are like this around. This is fucking sick shit. And then someone just made a comment saying, flagged. And I replied and I said, do you mean you flagged my video, or do you mean you've gone over and flagged this dude channel? And they just never replied. But I was a bit like, what? But anyway, sorry, I digress. Or as Ali G would say, I digest.
Yeah, it's we've kind of gone off topic a lot. Well, no, I suppose what we're talking about is still related to, you know, dodgy YouTubeism, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, we can only talk about it in the context and terms that we're familiar with, can't we? You know, you can't pretend to be an expert on things you don't know about. So, it's kind of like looking at it more on a microscopic basis because you're just talking about how these things are reflected. I mean, I think it's quite interesting that we can go from talking about Jake and Logan Paul being a pair of cunts to then talking about Lorne and how much laughs he's given us. So yeah, I don't mind going off topic. It expands the stream a bit more. Clobbering flags his own videos. He doesn't care for himself. So but no, but I think we kind of got onto this subject talking about integrity, and I wanted to explain as well because a lot of people were asking earlier in the chat, and I do apologise. I wanted to explain because I briefly mentioned it to you, Andy. Who this guy, who should be appearing on the screen now, is in front of you. And this is the guy, the Bud A, the dude that was arrested for sending sexual messages and images to minors on this TikTok app, which is a rather worrying app. If you guys haven't checked it out, I made a video doing a bit of a rant about it earlier, and I personally actually think it's pretty funny. I like doing rants. I like getting a bit emotional, and so I had a good time making it. It's only 6 minutes long, but after this stream, go and check it out. But yeah, he is a stud, Dan. He slays pussy. The trouble is, it's underage. But yes, so that's the Buddy in front of you, Andy. Just so that you have a backstory on who he is.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that, to be honest. It's kind of yeah. How long has this luxury prank's been going on for?
I can find out. Hold on. Well, I think they've been around for.
Parker,
oh, sorry.
This is Luxury Pranks. Thank you all for the recent.
They've been around for a while. But I believe most of their content. Hold on. I need to pause this. Or like popular content was only when they started doing this To Catch a Predator rip-off stuff. Let me see if I can go back and put their videos in chronological order. Date added, oldest. So yeah, I mean, you go back and they've got like they've got a few kind of normal pranks. Yeah, maybe 20, 30-ish. Yep. And yeah, no, maybe more, maybe 40 odd videos. Yeah, they did a lot of catfishing style stuff. And then 1 year ago, they did their first ever social experiment, they called it, which was catching a child predator. 1 year ago they started those, and you can see that when they started those, their views went up from around anywhere between sort of 100,000 and 600,000 views to like 5.7 million views on their first child catch a predator social experiment.
Wow.
It's 5.7 million views, so yeah, you know, they have lost all integrity, but they sure are raking in the big bucks.
Yeah. I mean, it is us kind of, you know, saying, you know, it's like The Simpsons, isn't it? How do you sleep at night? On top of a pile of money.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Beautiful ladies.
You know, that's a quote I've used before, and I couldn't remember where it was from, because someone like said to me, how do you sleep at night? And I just said, on top of a pile of money. And it's like me with The Office, and then I hear the jokes get so deep in my mind, I think I've created them.
A bit like Ricky Gervais jokes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Office, Ricky Gervais, same thing.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
It's alright. But yeah, so yeah, these luxury pranks guys are, yeah, terrible, terrible human beings, in my opinion.
Are they not just young and stupid and fame hungry? Does that make you a terrible human being? Does it really?
There's other ways to do it. I mean,
I'm not saying there isn't, but do they deserve the title of terrible human beings?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. They're sensationalizing their videos, you know.
Is it any worse than what journalists do?
Really depends on what type of journalist you're talking about, though, doesn't it?
Most journalists are only interested in selling newspapers. Like, read this. I mean, I can't even stand to look at it, but whenever
Sun, yeah.
I look at the Sun or something like that, and you read the fucking shite that they put in there.
Oh, but this I have huge issues with the Sun because they are fucking. You know, this is a newspaper that they'll be like on one week they'll have an article like we hate pedos, kill all the pedos, and then the next week they've got a fucking countdown to when Charlotte Church turns 16, and that is a true thing they had in the Sun. They literally had a countdown going, 14 days till Charlotte turns 18. Now, I'm sorry, but that is encouraging finding minors attractive in a national newspaper.
Yeah, and you know, if you the thing is as well, if you're head of a media outlet, any kind of newspaper in the UK that's, you know, one of the mainstream media papers or even online now, you've got a responsibility. Because you're influencing society and the way that people behave and the way that people think, because people are fucking idiots. So to print stuff that you know is incorrect to sell newspapers is it doesn't really get much worse than that. So my sort of question is, and these supposed people, journalists, are respected members of society, are these people that do these videos any worse? Carol's just said they are evil, vile human beings. I assume she's referring to the people, these luxury crank people. I mean, you know, you've got strong views about them, but
well, no, I can see why you're defending them. They are kids. They are fucking idiots. That's clear. But yeah.
What I'm asking is, do they journalists should know better, because these are intelligent, educated people. These people that are making these YouTube videos, do they even know the potential damage that they're causing?
No.
So, in other words, if they don't know and they're not aware, should they be held accountable?
I think if they're over 18, that, you know, it's kind of hard for us to really understand, because all of this kind of YouTube and that stuff wasn't around when we were that kind of age. And even I was very against, might be the wrong word, but I even kind of had an unfounded hatred of PewDiePie just because this guy seemed to have no talent and yet became popular. Now I like him, as we mentioned earlier. Like, I enjoy his content now that he's grown up and become self-aware. But I mean, there's different. I don't know, because I was going to say, I would say, integrity-wise, even someone like Jake and Logan Paul probably have more about themselves than these guys doing the luxury pranks thing. But then again, those guys as well are manipulating their audience as much as they can. I know you can't stand Shane Dawson, so you didn't watch the documentary, but he has a chat with Jake Paul, and he says, in your videos and in your songs, you sell merchandise to kids, and you push that merch. Like, even in their songs, they'll be like, yeah, blah, 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 buy my merch in the songs. And he tried to make the argument and say, well, isn't that any different from advertising in the middle of a kid's TV show? And Shane made a good point. He was like, well, no, because they differentiate. It's not like fucking Peppa Pig turns around in the middle of the show and goes, buy a Peppa Pig t-shirt, is it? The adverts just happen to run in the middle of the show. However, the thing is, later on, this guy I think the channel's name is Nerd City. He made a really good video. And he showed clips of Jake Paul's business channel where he's talking about how important merch is, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Those guys, as stupid as they look, must have something about them to have made themselves so successful. I mean, yes, it's very easy to manipulate children, but again, no one seems to have any integrity anymore. And this platform, it's sad to say that it is, but it's mostly used by kind of 12 to 18-year-olds.
It's basically a lack of wisdom, right? These people, and it's maybe I give people too much of an easy ride sometimes, which is ironic considering. Well, anyway, but people don't have the wisdom to realise that you can have all the money in the world. You know, it is no substitute for having your integrity. It really isn't, because if you lose your soul, then you ultimately demise. You won't enjoy that money and success unless you've earned it. And you've only earned it by creating something of value. What they are doing is not creating anything of value, but they're too stupid and young to appreciate that, because all they can see is dollar signs and attention. And the problem is with YouTube, as that Jake Paul documentary did highlight, from what I saw of it, is that attention is like a drug. YouTube fame and attention, fame and money is a drug, and you want more of it, and you get it, and you go nuts.
Well, some people do. I wouldn't have thought you're familiar with him, but if you've ever heard of Onision, the guy literally sort of broke down after reaching popularity, but he was already a pretty weird guy. But there was one thing he did that kind of, I think everyone feels like at certain times, if you have a YouTube channel, where he made this song that was like, if you don't like what I'm doing, unsub. And I think everyone at times feels like saying that to people that are like mean or critical. It's like I uploaded that video yesterday promoting the new channel that myself and Mark and Chris are working on. Guys, if you're not sub to it, I'll put a link in the description in a moment.
You're not sub to it, guys. Don't bother.
It's going to be amazing. It looks really good.
No, it's better than some of the shite that's out there. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not going to be the most interesting topic. A lot of people who are here are drawn.
You can't sell a YouTube channel by saying
no,
that.
No, wait, listen.
Where's your integrity, man?
Shut up. You're ruining my flow. It's not to everyone it'll be the most interesting thing, but it's talking about things I want to talk about that aren't on the darker side of life. So, films, TV, video games, just things that I love, that I can be passionate about without... there's millions of people out there doing that, so it's an incredibly hard market to do. But anyway, to come back to what I was saying... I put that video up saying go and sub to this channel on my scam betting channel yesterday, and people were just like, what are you doing? Don't do this, you can't do that. And it got more dislikes. I think it's my most, with the exception of my videos that have a large amount of views, it's got, in 300 views, it's got 15 dislikes, which for me is quite big. And it made me think, like, these people, do they think they own me? I'm not allowed to try something new. I'm only advertising it on that channel. I don't know if people were confused that I was converting that channel into something else. I was only saying, if you're interested in this, go and see it. Why has it upset you so much that you need to hit that dislike button and leave a mean comment? People just can't stand change.
We're living in a really strange time at the minute. We really are. It's like the internet has only just really been launched, if you're looking at it. The Industrial Revolution's not long, a few hundred years. We're living in a very strange time, and human beings are very fickle fucking creatures, and you only have to, like, on the roads today, like driving round, the way that people react on the roads, everybody's so highly strung and in a rush and all that kind of stuff. It's fucking crazy that, it's not surprising. People go on YouTube and everybody thinks that they're the greatest authority over everything. Someone left a comment on one of me Justin McFetridge videos and said, "You have an annoying voice, fuck off." Which is pretty funny. Yeah. But I thought, if you're watching that, why would you feel the need to tell me that? Because clearly you might find me voice annoying, but most people don't,
No, do you remember, actually, I don't know if you guys would, it's still on this channel, actually. I think it was the first video I made on this channel, because this was originally going to be kind of like a commentary channel, and looking at YouTubers I thought were a bit shite. And I made a video on a guy called James Dowsett, because he made this really silly video, because he was trying to jump on the bandwagon. If you remember Christmas 2017 or 2016, everyone was doing that 1,000 degree knife thing, cutting things with a 1,000 degree knife. And he titled his video, Cutting my shoes with a 1,000 degree knife. And then in the video, that didn't happen at all. He got like this tiny knife out, like a penknife, and cut a Lindor chocolate in half. And I made a commentary on it, and I thought it was funny. But the thing was, I wasn't mean or cruel towards him. I was just kind of going, this guy is stupid. The guy actually then subbed to my channel and said, "This is hilarious." And I was like, okay, because I wasn't being horrible towards him. I was just calling him out and going, "This is a bit a bit stupid, but the guy came across the video himself, and he actually turned out, because like a lot bigger YouTubers than I'll ever be had made videos on him, and they've been quite mean towards him, whereas I just kind of called him out on his silliness and the fact that his video was complete clickbait. And but at the same time made it funny, and he himself, the guy who I was making fun of, found it funny, and that made me feel really good that I could take the piss, but at least the guy got it, the humorous side. There was no malice in it, whereas I think trouble is people love drama. When you and I had that argument the other day and we got quite heated, suddenly the viewership went up by about 10 people.
Oh, I noticed that. How did people know about it, though?
I don't know, probably some forum. Andy and Adam are falling out, lovers tiff. Quick, get over here.
Don't worry, everybody. We have makeup sex.
Yeah, exactly. But well, you know, but then I thought about that, and like afterwards, like we should start scripting arguments and just get really angry because people like it. But then you know, again, you're losing your integrity because it's not real. When we were doing it, it was real. So,
but no doubt there'll be a time in the future when maybe one of us has had too many beers or got up on the wrong side of bed, where we will naturally have another argument and it'll get quite heated because we talk about quite intense stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, exactly, but yeah, people like drama, and that's why you get these big YouTubers faking drama with each other, because it gets the viewers in.
They're exploiting people's stupidity, aren't they?
Yeah.
Basically, that's basically what. But that's what anybody does in any business that's massively successful. You look at just take any product. Let's say aftershave. What do? They get famous people to advertise it because you will think I can smell like fucking Brad Pitt or whatever. You know, if you look at the actual mental processes behind that, what a ridiculous thing, but it works.
Well, do you remember Chris Chan wrote? Oh, it wasn't. He wrote a letter to Axe. You guys call it in the US and Europe, but Links we call it in the UK. And he wrote a letter. Actually, I got confused because I thought it was complaining that girls didn't run after him like they do in that advert. But you know, that's what they're saying will happen. You wear this deodorant, and girls are going to come running after you. Actually, what Chris Chan did was write a letter to them saying, "I don't want homosexuals to wear this." But anyway, that's his mind for you, or Christine Chan now. Anyway,
he's not done anything in a while, has he?
Oh, I think he has. His Quick Guardians of Quickville channel's still active. It's just I think people have given up making him a lolcow, really. I think the trouble is, after we went so deep into his history, and I kind of started to feel bad for the guy, and I just didn't really want to keep... I don't think we were really taking the piss to the extent other people have, but...
Yeah, content is that small, it doesn't fucking matter anyway.
No. Well, apparently there's a guy, I haven't seen him around for a while, but there's a guy, although he's never proved it, and I said if he could prove it, I'd be happy to do an interview with him, who claims to be Blue Spike that subs to this channel.
Yeah, I can't see that.
No, well, I said to him, if you can get in contact with me, it's just sad YouTube took away the messaging system.
Yes, Mark's just said that he still uploads.
Yeah, Guardians of Quickville, but it's all a bit, you know, because he's kind of gone so weird now, hasn't he, becoming Christine Chan, and most of his content is still, you know, because what is he? He's a bit older than us, actually, I think, and most of his content is still talking about kids' toys and Pokemon and My Little Pony and things like that, so... You know, it's not particularly interesting comment, and I have no malice towards the guy. So he was an interesting topic for quite a few videos we made, but the interest waned.
Yeah, I'm not really like. I did enjoy Gino Samuel's videos. They were. I was so pissed off when they stopped. I really look forward to that every week.
That was a real sort of kick in the teeth, well, I suppose for him more than anyone, but even, you know, us who were lapping up that content as he made it when he got kicked off, and he was, you know, because he was getting all his videos demonetized, and you're looking at how much effort went into those videos. He must have been spending days making them, if not weeks, and then to get them demonetized, and I know, even though my videos are pretty much just like record it, upload it most of the time, or a little bit of editing here and there, how kind of demotivating it can be to put effort into something or make something you're proud of, and then YouTube turn around and say, we can't make any money off this, and you're like, well, why will I bother doing it anymore? And I
That's
think
just what's happened to Shaman, isn't it? He got his some of his monetization taken off him. Luckily for him, he's very clever, and I don't think it's going to affect him massively. But it's still a kick in the teeth for him, and he's gone out of his way so much to try and do everything correctly.
Yeah.
And he's still stumbled, which just shows you how difficult it is in the YouTube world. But yet, them fucking luxury prank people.
Yep, they can. I mean, something needs to be done. There needs to be human regulators of YouTube rather than the bots or algorithms they use. Because even like I would say that luxury pranks needs to be taken down. In fact, and going back to that Logan Paul thing that he did with the dead body, he should have been banned from YouTube for life. He should have been. They should have said no, taking it down.
I agree.
You know, your channel's going down, you're not making any more money, you're not allowed to use this platform because you fucked up too badly. And they should do the same with luxury pranks, and people like Daniel Cohn, children who are sexualizing themselves, they should say those channels should be gone. They should not be allowed. The trouble is YouTube is not regulated whatsoever, and if your channel does get taken down, you can just start a new email and start a new channel, because there's no kind of age restriction for uploading YouTube videos or anything. And,
well, look at Lorne.
Well, exactly, and we had a big, well, not really debate because we were agreeing, but a big conversation about how the fuck is someone, a registered sex offender who's not allowed to go on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but yet he's allowed to use YouTube. How is that okay?
It's still a very interesting topic, that, because his channel's still there, and, I'm a bit torn because I don't want that channel ever to get deleted, because the comedy content in it alone is worth 1,000 fucking comedy movies.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying, but from a more kind of moral standpoint, he should have never been allowed to make no one who's on the sex offenders, because the trouble is that you can interact in the comment section, and so you could speak to people of any ages, like with the whole Elsa Gate and the thing I was talking about, that dude looking at little girls in bikinis and stuff. Like, this shit is going on. YouTube is probably the darkest of all the social media sites because it's so poorly regulated. And people who might not be popular but make good content and put effort into it and have integrity and are interesting, and their shit gets taken down just because, I don't know, if they get too animated or they use this, they call someone cunts and things like that, and then they get demotivated and you never see a video from them again, like Gino Samuel, for example. Like, I believe his channel was taken down because he was harassing Chris Chan, and he wasn't at all. He was literally, documenting what happened in this guy's life, and it was incredibly interesting because he was getting bits of information we didn't even know existed, and yet then he gets it all taken down, and we lose some of the best content I've ever had the pleasure of watching on YouTube.
I know, it's a shame, isn't it? Because you're right, it was very well made. All he was doing was reporting facts, but they were all about a specific person. So in other words, does Chris Chan not deserve to have his privacy protected?
The trouble is with Chris Chan, it's a bit of a strange one because he still puts his own stuff online. Now, in regards to fair use, let's say I wanted to document Alex Johans. Is that not okay? I mean, he's put all the stuff I'm going to use online. I'll just rip it from his YouTube channel. He's put it there.
I don't know. I mean, let's look at the Lorne example. That'd be a great movie, that, wouldn't it? The Lorne example. When he did his own YouTube channel, you couldn't ever defend him, could you? Because he had the audacity to create that YouTube channel, but didn't want the negative repercussions which came from his fame in the first place. It was such a bizarre situation, but I don't suppose that's really anything like... Well, I don't know.
The thing with Lorne is you can always argue, and people will, if someone made a thing documenting Lorne's journey from start to finish, which I don't know if anyone's done or not already, it would be great if someone did. and including sort of every snippet of information they can get from him. But the trouble with Lorne is, you know, he is a registered sex offender, so it's kind of like fair game, isn't it? Whereas Chris Chan, although he's got a lot of flaws and he's made some stupid decisions in his life, he's not a criminal.
Yeah, very true, very true. There's one big difference there, isn't there?
Mm.
But you're right. Yeah, it's the thing is though, YouTube's its own entity. So really, in a way, if you want to use their platform, you've got to fucking like it or lump it, haven't you?
Yeah, and there's no other platform like it. So, hey, Kenny Run, but yeah, there's no other platform like it, and that's the sad thing. And I think even after the whole Adpocalypse thing happened, I think people were just waiting for someone to spring up with a similar thing. But the trouble is, YouTube's owned by Google. No one else could offer the same kind of monetary reward that you do get if you have a monetized channel on YouTube, I don't think.
You really screwed out. Yeah, they've monopolised it basically, haven't they? And that gives them the license to do whatever they want and ban what they want and all that Elsagate stuff. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was really fucking disturbing. One of my best mates at work who's got like a couple of young daughters. And I was telling him about that because obviously what him and his missus do, and they're great parents, but every now and again they stick them in front of YouTube to have 10 minutes to themselves, which there's nothing wrong with unless it's done into excess. And I was telling him about that, and he couldn't quite grasp what I was getting at. And I had to show him these videos, and he nearly fucking dropped through the floor. I mean, it was fucking sickening. I mean, to think that YouTube... You can get away with it. It's fucking remarkable. Well, there's something very sinister about it all, isn't there?
Well, this is it. Like, it's very difficult, especially with the whole Elsagate situation, because so many parents are having kids when they're young these days, and they don't realise, and they stick the iPad in front of a toddler, and it's like a babysitter, and they don't regulate what their kids are watching, and whether that's, because of sheer ignorance or stupidity, these people need, it's bad parenting. It's like the rant video I made on TikTok just a few minutes ago. I said if you're allowing your kids on that TikTok thing, you are a bad parent. I'm sorry, but if you're not monitoring what your child is doing on the internet, and then something bad happens to them, then that is the parent's fault for not monitoring what they've been doing on the internet.
Yeah, you've got to take a more active role. You should, as a parent, anybody should be wise enough to know that there's a lot of shit on the internet that kids shouldn't be seeing. So I do agree with you there, actually.
Yeah, it's, and that Elsagate stuff, the thing is, they were very clever, the people that made those videos, and I do think the main motivator behind that, it wasn't some kind of sick sexual thing, although that might have been a byproduct, like showing this weird shit to kids. But the main thing was money. I mean, some of those videos had 1 billion views.
It's fucking unbelievable, that, isn't it? Is there any other videos on YouTube that have got that many views? Is there a way of finding out what the most viewed video is on YouTube?
Yeah, I actually have been, because I was going to make a kind of video about this recently, and I've been looking at the most subscribed YouTubers and the most viewed videos. The trouble is, most of them are music videos.
Oh, right, okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah, and I don't know how to kind of put it in the search engine and say, well, not include, even I'm just looking now, 15 most viewed videos on YouTube, and every single one is a song, as far as I can see. Hold on. Yep, every single most viewed video on YouTube is a song.
That's pretty good.
In the top 15.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, that's as far as it goes.
Oh, we've just got a dislike.
Oh, well.
Who's that? Come on, own up to it, guys. Who's put a dislike on? We want to know.
Yeah, well, if you dislike, at least give us some constructive criticism as to why you need to dislike.
Yeah, at least listen, Andy, you talk shit. Fuck off from YouTube, that's fine.
Get off YouTube, you pair of cunts. Well, maybe it was someone who was behind Elsagate, or maybe someone who just loves fucking children.
Oh, Lord
Lowsy, Blue Spike disliked.
Oh, would you care to explain why, good sir?
Why did you dislike? We want constructive criticism because then we can make better content.
Yes, you will not be vilified for any
No.
honest comment that you make.
No, we appreciate honesty and integrity here. That's what we're all about.
Of course. Yeah, but once we've got an answer, if we do, we're going to have to wrap it up, dude, because I've got to... Because it's what?
Autistic.
What is?
Apparently the stream.
Oh.
But then we are talking to a man that claims to be a man that got an autistic man to shove a medallion up his ass, so I wouldn't take offence.
Ooh, what?
No, sorry?
Oh, nothing. Sorry,
Well, Lord Lolsey, we mentioned him before, actually, is the guy that claims to be Blue Spike, and I did say to him if he could prove it to me, I'd be more than happy to speak to him and do an interview, because it'd be quite interesting.
Potentially. Oh, we've got two! We've got two! Wow, this is great. Is anybody else going to own up to it?
Anyway, let's stop focusing on the dislikes. You're chasing people away, Andy.
Let's wrap it up, shall we?
Yeah. Guys.
Anyway,
yeah.
For everybody, even including the people that have disliked it, thank you very much for joining us. It's been good fun.
Yes, it has. It's been. We've done some pretty good fun streams. The last couple of days. You're not Liquid Chris, Lord Lolsey. You told me you were Blue Spike before. Don't start, because I would love to talk to Liquid Chris. I thought his trolling was actually some of the most ingenious trolling of Chris Chan, and there was no malice in it, so I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Liquid Chris was a cool guy as far as I saw. He made some very interesting and funny content. But anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me, Andy.
Oh, thank you for having me, Adam. It's an honour to broadcast with you. An honour.
An honour. Yeah, guys, go and check out the rant I made on TikTok, because I really enjoyed making it. So I hope you guys will enjoy watching it as much. And also do go and subscribe to my new channel if you're into TV shows, video games, and all kinds of nerdy stuff. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.
Bye. Oh.